going ahead and welcoming our next speaker for the day, Mr. Faisal Ali Al-Balushi. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Faisal has more than 16 years of experience in educational technology, specialized in emerging learning technologies, instructional design, and e-learning. He works as a chairman of Omanian Society of Educational Technology and also as a head of research and development department at Sultan Qaboos University. Go ahead and welcome Mr. Faisal on board. A very warm welcome, Mr. Faisal.
So, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Thank you for the introduction. I'll be speaking today about Hack Week, fostering creativity and innovation in the school. So first of all, I would like I would like to introduce Roblox Friends Circle app. This is an app built by a 9-year-old student who's a shy student. And basically, she built this app to overcome her problem with communicating with other kids at the school. Basically, the whole idea of app is that, the student would share a QR code, other student would take that QR code. Through that QR code, they could open an app where they share their Roblox account, handle. And then this student, other student get to know who has Roblox account in their school and add them to their network and start playing virtually and also communicating. And to believe it or not, this student actually built this app with absolutely no code experience. In fact, this particular student hates coding. She does not like anything to do with IT or coding. But the moment she knew that she could build such app without possessing, IT skills, actually it opened up a lot of, opportunities for her. She's now on mission to build other apps. She's now building an app that will allow her and other shy students to, through the app, share their lunch boxes. And it's just really amazing. Like, when I worked on this project, what I realized that once the student knew that there is no restraint, so, that technology is not restrained, then they became to utilize the technology to create, really innovative product and thinking about solving problems through technology. It's really amazing. And this student, actually, you will never see such a student in like STEM lab, robotics lab, and in such a labs because she's simply not into app. So my name is Faisal Balushi. I'm chairman and edtech expert at Omani Society for Education Technology. I'm also director at nadros.com, an Arabic e-learning platform. And recently I was nominated as a Safer Internet for Kids advocate and GCC advisor for Freedom to Hear startup. It's a very innovative startup in UK that's, on mission to silence hate on internet. Basically, they are building app to protect people from cybercrime, cyber bullying, hate speeches that target people on social media. So when we talk about innovation in education generally, according to MIT Teaching System Lab, innovation in education is important to prepare students for a future in which they will need to communicate and solve complex problems. It's preparing students to a future or for the after school environment, which is changing, to prepare students for also the job market, which is changing almost every day and has complex problems, not only at the job market but also the community they live in. It's changing. We have complex problems. If we reflect back 2 years ago, students never had to face lockdown. Now, since 2 years, they've been facing lockdowns. They're dealing with a lot of implication of COVID-19. So, that's the importance of innovation and to inject that in our student. But usually how we launch innovation in education, for teachers, usually we talk about innovative teaching methods. Integrating technology in education. For students, usually at school level, the innovation comes not in same way as teachers. We actually always tie somehow innovation with the technology. So that's why we see when we talk about innovation hubs at the schools, you see STEM labs, robotics clubs, coding programs. Now, these innovation hubs actually do not just teach technology. There's a lot of things that students learn, and they learn a lot of other skills like problem solving, teamwork, innovation, creativity. But the problem is that in reality, actually, many students, that who are not in STEM and robotics or coding would not be joining these clubs. They will not be in these innovative hubs. We have few cases that, as society or, One Society Education Technology, we found in some cases like schools with 1,500 students, but only 9 students actually joining this STEM club. So what about students who are interested into graphic design? What about students who are interested in, fashion design, sport, music? What about them? They usually do not see that this is their space. They see that this is an IT domain, and they are not into IT domain. But if we see companies like really big this big innovative companies like Google, Twitter, others, but we see that in their innovation process they actually involve people from all different backgrounds, and in fact, so many innovative products are they were actually built by non-IT, non-engineers. And it started with Google's 20% time rule. So according to Larry Page, Sergey, employees at Google are encouraged to spend 20% of their time working on what they think will most benefit Google in order to help the company be more creative and innovative. So it's 20% of their time off from their daily routine, and they get to do what they believe is the project that they believe that it's going to help the company. And through this 20% time rule, actually Google managed to create some of its products that that it was not intended. So it was not the company's, it was not in the company's actual plan. And this 20% time rule became then later on Hack Week in other companies. So for Google, Hack Week or 20% rule it comes under innovate or die, and it's a must. It's a survival for them to innovate. And through these Hack Weeks or 20% rule, actually they managed to develop application like Gmail, Google Cardboard, Google AdSense. For Twitter, it's an actively these Hack Weeks are actively promoting innovation through experimentation. It's allowing people to relax and experiment with everything without fearing that they're gonna mess up and they will not follow the routine or follow the projects and accomplish the project. For Spotify, it's a chance for everyone at Spotify to experiment, create, test, and learn. And this is exactly what they do, and others. It's a space where everybody joins and they could work individually and team around an idea, around a product, a solution, a challenge. And I'm not talking about like people coming with their being in their comfort zone and coming with their experience. So a marketing person would come and join a team in Hack Week as a marketing person or bringing his marketing experience. I'm not talking about a graphic designer coming and joining a team and telling that I'm going to do all your graphic design. No, it's not like that. It's actually a marketing person coming in Hack Week with an idea to develop a product or a solution to solve an existing problem in marketing department. A graphic designer would come and say that, for example, I would like to, create a project management app or software that is dedicated for graphic designers. So this is what happened. And so So the idea of Hack Week, as I said, it's a chance for members of an organization to take time off from their daily routine and work in teams on ideas which they believe are powerful enough to impact organization. And sometimes not just organization, sometimes outside the organization, the community as well. And they gather to develop a product in order to solve a problem or tackle a certain challenge. And as I mentioned, that in these Hack Weeks, a lot of the products or solution or designs actually are led by non-IT, non-engineers. So how it's happening? How they did it. It's through turning their staff member into citizen developer. To explain the concept citizen developer. Citizen developer is actually, a person in an organization who is a non-IT person, or person with no or very little IT or coding skills. He works on solving work-related problems and challenges by developing IT applications using no-code, low-code platforms. And when we say low-code or no-code tools, we mean tools which are they're visual builders. So basically, the skills that you need is just a drag and drop skills, and it enables anyone to assemble things without any code application. So they are chunk of ready codes, functions. So basically, through these new code tools, you could organize them in a way, and then you have a product or you have an application. And this is not a trendy words. It's not something, it's not, like, a theory. Actually, it's happening, and it's happening in many companies. And in fact, it's happening also in non-IT companies. And there's a big market for it. So according to Forbes, by 2030, the global low-code development platform market is expected to produce 187 billion in revenue. And by 2024, in 2 years, low-code application development will be responsible for more than 65% of application development activities. So this shows that there is a big market moving toward providing low-code platforms so that they could accelerate the technology, technology IT production, startups in technology areas. So there's a big move. And as I said, it's not only for IT companies. Actually, there's a lot of non-IT companies. They are using, citizen development to build apps that would help their company, in terms of productivity, solving problems. So with Shell, for example, Shell staff members, they managed to create 75 apps. And these are built by non-IT, non-engineers, and in some cases, people who has no IT skills. Toyota managed to build 400 apps, Pepsi, more than 650 apps. So what can you build with no-code tools? In summary, you can build almost everything. You could build apps, web apps, mobile apps. You could build, UX design. You could also, integrate or, build AI, machine learning, or utilize, artificial intelligence, machine learning. You could, do automation, build games, many more. There's a lot of things you can do. You can actually also, build database without code. So this is just a simple glimpse of the ecosystem of no-code apps that currently available, and this is just small, sample. There actually a lot more than this. And personally, whenever I just search, I find out new apps coming and new platforms coming almost every day or every week. So and later on, if there is a need, I could show you in details few apps as well if we have time. So are we talking about app building, product building? Absolutely no. We are not talking about app building and product building. we're talking about more than that. So these hack weeks, if you talk about the whole education system, there's a lot of things that you accomplish in this hack week. So for example, for students, it's an opportunity, that, we can include all students at school, not only those who are interested in IT or coding. You could include everybody in these hack weeks, and like, those, innovation hubs or spaces that rely on coding and robotic, whatever. In hack weeks, we could foster, or encourage students, critical thinking, and they could apply actually project-based learning. They do actual collaboration. They learn about design thinking, and they also practice distributed leadership, because in hack weeks, they should not be, that dominant role or giving them certain things to do. It's actually letting them explore, find out the problems that they believe need to be solved, and let them solve. So, and that is what we did with one of the students, as I mentioned. For her, the biggest problem for her is communication, and she believes, like her, there's other shy students who have problem communicating with other students, but she doesn't have that same problem communicating virtually. That's why she believed that she could overcome her problem by inviting them into virtual environment through Roblox game and start communicating. So we did not give her problem. That's her problem, and that's her way to solve it. And also we could help, establish in a small or mini incubation in our schools, and help students to, to start building their own startups. And it's happening globally as well. For teachers and staff, it's an opportunity to apply system thinking, to understand this complex system in education, like in education organization. When we come into this, hack week, there is a lot of communication. There is a lot of sharing, information, sharing challenges and everything. And by building solution, we also, and in order to build solution, actually, we need to understand the complex system, the relation between cause and effect. Certain things we do, it has, multiple effects in different dimension. And and these, hack weeks an opportunity to understand the ecosystem of that system. It also supports digital transformation acceleration by giving the teacher the power to be the one of the main parts of this digital transformation, or moving this digital transformation, instead of it being top down. It's teachers, staff members who know where the problem is and where the digital transformation should take, a place. And in fact, they would also help the organization to make it happen. It will help also teachers and staff members to become product manager, to understand the full process of product management, which includes also project management. And in some cases, teachers could also, become startups. For education organization, I would say the main gain is to foster innovation and creativity in a practical way, instead of just stick to one area. This would be an opportunity to explore. Even if we talk about innovating in teaching and learning, that's also there should be a space also in Hack Week for that. The other thing is that also breaks IT silos. Okay. So it breaks IT silos, means that in organization we have different departments. We have IT departments. Whenever we have a problem, we always rely on IT to build solution to fix that problem. But the problem is we do not speak their language. But by getting into this process of building solution, we actually halfway through and building, let's say, prototype or alpha or beta product that later on IT could take on and make it better. So it helps us to speak their language. So we are at Omani Society for Education Technology. We are intending to have first Hack Week in Oman. So we have 20 schools that will start with this project. The intention is to have 50 products, ideas, or startups. First plan, we launch innovative, like we will have launching innovation course for teachers. Then we'll be also training teachers, students, parents on different no-code platforms. Last phase would be launching the Hack Week virtually, face to face. After that, we will evaluate, readjust, and we will, build our model, working model, so that we could share it with our school as well. So that's it. For those who are interested to know more about no-code platforms, about Hack Week, how to do Hack Week, to join our project, to support us, or just want to talk, you can you can email me at faisal@oset.om, and the organizer also will have that email in case you would like to wish to communicate or talk to me. So thank you. That's it. And I believe now it's the time for a question. Okay, so there is a question. Today, education technology is not a discussion about an integral part of the school day. How can school create an environment where students are taught and encouraged to be confident digital citizens, and where e-safety is at the heart of any technology discussion? So although this is not, the talk, it's not the part of the talk. I would, if we go, in more practical way, you could do that in Hack Weeks. You could, put that in the heart of Hack Weeks, and see how students actually would come up with the idea, even with about, regarding their safety or, e-safety. The other way that we are doing regarding, safety or internet safety is also, we are actually implementing technology to do that. So, for example, but you cannot have, universal solution because there is no solution yet. What we do a lot of intervention and see based on the intervention which one works and which one doesn't, and then we move on. So with e-safety, I would say in online environment, the one of the biggest problem that cause a problem to students is or kids as communication. There's no control who's communicating with kids online. So if you could give them a safer space to communicate, so that does not allow any stranger to get in, that would be one of the solution. And that's this technology already there. Regarding being digital citizen, I would say not just only educating them, but also letting them practice it. And to start with, you need to think about like ICT courses at the schools. They're very traditional teaching skills. Instead of teaching skills, you need to let them practice, different things like, digital skills, as digital citizenship. I'm not sure if there's other question. So that's it for me. I think thank you for all for attending, for listening to this presentation, and I hope that this will give some of you feel confident to go for using technology actually to create technology solution, and thinking about applying Hack Week into your schools. Thank you.
A session full of learning was with us. Thank you so much for sharing your inputs, and I personally believe learning never stops.